Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily and yeah, I'm so excited about today's video because I will be talking about my favorite books of 2024, and I haven't filmed like a complete just talking about books video in like forever, and I'm so excited because I haven't done it in so long, and this is one of my favorite videos ever because I could just talk about my favorite books of the year. Can it get better? I don't think so, because I'm back home in my bookshelf and I love it so much, and I just like I got back like a couple days ago. I was like, I missed you actually so much, and I do need more of you when I come back for real, because book shopping in England, obviously I've done it. Duh. But yeah, anyways, I'm very happy to be back and talk about my favourite books of the year. This is a little bit tricky because I wouldn't say I had like a bad reading year, but I just don't think I found like new favourites like last year. I found a new series that I was obsessed with. Like I found Beartown, I found Six of Crows, I found all the interviews. I found so many new book series that I was like obsessed with. Whereas this year it was more like, yeah, let's continue with the series I know I'm gonna love, and let's reread books, and let's read some standalones that were good. But yeah, I feel like it was just a little bit harder finding like new great books that I'm obsessed with. Like 6-star reads. No. 5-star reads, yes. 4.5, yes. So 6 stars, bit harder. But anyways, we still found 24 books I'm pretty happy with, I think. I haven't picked them out yet because in tradition, I started this in 2022. This is now the 3rd year, which is also mental to be filming again. But I started like picking the books, not like sitting down and having them already here. No, I picked them with you guys. I'm looking at my bookshelf and I'm like, what were my favourite books? To be honest, this year's kind of a bit harder because I can't really remember what I read. So I did have a cheeky look on my Notion, and it was like, okay, so what did I actually read? Because I can't remember what I read in this year. Like the first half of this year feels like so long ago, you know. But I refreshed my memory and I remembered. So let's try and find 24 books that I am obsessed with. And if I do need to look at my phone, please ignore that. Let's start. Obviously I think we're gonna go like literally top 1, because like the first book that pops into my mind, and then we're going more detail probably. This is always a little bit chaotic, but in a fun way, you know. If you do want to like check out the last year's videos, I can link them down below somewhere. Pop them here, I don't know, but they were really fun and I love them. Okay, the first book that I have to talk about, because this is literally probably one of my favorite book series of all time, like yeah, top 1 probably. And I finally finished the series. I finally got over myself and read it, and that was really hard, but I did it. And that book is The Winners by Frederick Bachman. It was my favorite from the series. Like that's still probably Beartown, because that was just like so many things, so many new characters. I fell in love with it, you know. But this one was great. It was thick and like long, and I did annotate loads of it, but it was so good and so sad. I like bawled my eyes out. I read it in like finishing book series videos, and I bawled my eyes out, because what do you mean? It's done and it's sad, but it was so good, and like the amount of different tabs, and I just also love his writing. But yeah, this is about Beartown, a small town in Sweden, and it's about hockey, but it's also about so much more. Like the characters really make it, because yeah, there are just so many, and Frederick Bachman gives it like every single POV, and it's just so good. And I love Benji and Maya and all the other characters so much. So that was definitely one of my favorites that I've read this year, but I am sad that I finished it. I mean, I can always reread. Like this year probably was one of my years where I read like the most rereads. Like from like the percentage wise, like I read like 15% of my reads were just rereads, which I feel like is kind of a lot. Like I think it was like 15, and it probably would have been more if I could have. I just wanted to reread my books. I didn't even want to find new books. Let's keep going with the finishing book series top book, because then we got the Atlas Complex. I also reread the Atlas 6 and the Atlas Paradox, but this one was obviously the new one. I want to not put in my rereads, because then that would just be that. But yeah, this was great. It was really interesting, and yeah, not what I did expect. I did have higher hopes, but to be fair, honestly, they were kind of like, whoa, surprisingly it went really well until the end, and then again I was bawling my eyes out. Classic theme, I guess. But yeah, like I literally read it, and then the plot I was like, no. So I literally didn't even cry in that moment, because I was like, no, like that's not happening. Like there's like something else gonna happen, but it just happened. I was like, okay, because yeah, it was just really shocking. But I also again love the characters: Nico, Gideon, Libby, Tristan. Those are Callum. Those are probably my favourites, but yeah, Nico and Gideon. Obsessed. And like I waited so long because I remember reading The Endless Paradox when it came out like 2022, end of 2022, so I had to wait like over a year for the next book, and I was so excited when I finally had it. And I do love it. So that was fun. Then, yeah, let's talk about Yuri. Another book that I absolutely loved and that was so fun and I really want to reread, and I did in England by the signed edition. Like, I just can't believe I got it. But I got a funny story here. I obviously don't have a signed edition with me. See that in some other video. But I bought this one. And yeah, that is a funny story about Emily Henry, which is such a romance, rom-com, summer romance, but with a bit of deeper topics. And I love the characters like Daphne and Miles. I love Miles. He was one of my favourite book boyfriends, I would say. It was more like normal. Like, he was just a normal guy. He wasn't like this crazy dude. And I really liked how they got together. Like, they got together because their partners like broke up with them and got together, and then they were both out of an apartment. So then Daphne moved in with Miles because they were both like, ugh. And it was just really funny, and it was a really funny story, but also so emotional and heartwarming and really good. Then, where is you? Okay, my English is just right. Here you are. Okay, next one is Abby Jimenez, Just for the Summer. I can't really tell what I like more, like Funny Story or this one. I read them both like right after each other because they came out together. This one was also so good, so emotional. So sad, but so well. If you got mommy issues, sad life. But yeah, I also love Justin's this one. The way he was caring for his siblings, I can't. And it looks like such a funny little romance, and then emotional destroyed after that one. Loved it. Loved it. Then we obviously gotta talk about Magnolia Parks because I finished the series like up until like right now. Now. But I can't tell you which one I like love the most, but I would probably I can't. Ooh. This is hard because I think I'm gonna pick Daisy Hates for now, but there could also be another one coming. Like, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, love Daisy Hates. That one was like, whoa, surprisingly loved it. Did I love it mostly because of Julianne? Maybe. It was really good. But yeah, I just love Magnolia Parks. I really, because like I read the first two in 2023 and I was like, really like Magnolia Parks. Daisy Hates was okay. And then I just paused it for a really long time. And then I read The Long Way Home and I was like, oh, this is actually pretty good, you know? And then I read this and I was like, whoa, obsessed actually. And then I read Into Dark, obviously. I was like, whoa, okay. So yeah, but this one I feel like there was a lot happening and it was just, yeah, I loved it. I can't really say too much about it because it is the fourth one in the series, but yeah, I really enjoyed that one. That also feels like so long ago. Like, I was like, I read that in 2024, what? Then we have to talk, oh yeah, that one. You know, I feel like it's fun. You know what, I feel like it's fun reading like a book you know it's going to be a 5-star. Like The Winners was very much like, yeah, this is going to be good, you know? But then when you read a book on your Kindle, you're like, this seems fun, this is free, nice. And then you become obsessed with it. Holy shit, because that happened with me and this one. Oh my god, We Could Be So Good was so good. Literally obsessed with it. I don't know what they put in, but like it felt like reading, no, I just couldn't stop. Like Nick and what's his name? Andy. Obsessed. This is about two queer characters in the 1950s. Okay, so Nick and Andy, and they are living in the 1950s and they fall in love and it's so cute. And they're from this big newspaper in New York. It's set in New York in the 50s and it's weird. It was just so perfect. And like their chemistry and their banter was so good. And like absolutely obsessed. I don't want to say more to it because I read it completely blind and it was amazing. But like the writing was great, the romance was great, it was just, the setting was great. It was a true 5-star rate. Like, this was one of my only ones that wasn't part of a series, like, continue on with the series. Or reread, that was a 5-star. Like, probably one of, like, 3. So, gotta give credit where credit is due, you know what I mean? 10 out of 10. Love it. Okay. Let's keep looking. Okay. I did find new obsessions this year. And one of them was Percy Jackson. I was one of those kids who did not read Percy Jackson. Like, I honestly did not know what Percy Jackson was until the TV show came out. Like, my sister like watched the movie, she was like, oh, it's so good. I was like, yeah, this does not seem good, you know. I'm skeptical. But that one I was already like 16, 17, 18, I don't know, 18 probably. It's like, no. Then the TV show came out, and like before, so I was like, okay, you know, this seems to be good. Like this gets a lot of hype. Everybody's excited for this TV show. I did see new books coming out, and I was like, okay, could get behind this. Then I started reading Percy Jackson. I was like, oh, this is actually so fucking fun. Like, is it a little bit YA? Yes, obviously. It's like you can read it when you're 10, so you know. But I did fall in love with the characters, and then I just kept on going. But this is the final one in the Percy Jackson and the Olympians series, and I did love it so much, and it was great. I just love all the characters, and this is obviously where like the build up is happening, and like because basically Kronos, but who's the dad of Zeus, is trying to take over the Olympus, and they're all like trying to be like, no, you can't, and it's really good. And like there's some teeny tiny bit of romance, and it finally happening, and I'm like, this was really fun. And I do love Percy. Like, he's one of the main characters. I'm like, yes, obsessed. You know, obsessed. Heroes of Olympus, which is the next series that I did start. I'm not finished yet, which is really sad. Like, it just feels very unsatisfying. Like, yeah, read like half of it, still in the middle of the fourth one. I wish I could have, but no time. But I've read The Mark of Athena, and that plot twist was crazy at the end. I was actually shocked. I was like, holy shit. That was so different from any other book I've read from Rick Wright, and by now it's like 8, so quite a lot, to be fair. So that was quite shocking, and I just love also, because in this one there are so many more POVs, because like in the first series it's just Percy's POV, and now it's like all 7, I think it's 7 or 6. But like all 7 get a POV, and it's really fun, and they're all working together, and it's like a big group of demigods, all fighting against something, and there's more romance and more characters, and it's just so fun. And I also really like this one because in this one they're all like together versus in the other two, so I really like this one. This one was like, okay, actually I'm obsessed with this series, and I'm so excited to hear it. Like the other two was like, yeah, I like this is gonna get good. In this one it got good, you know what I'm saying? So I really like this one. Okay, we're currently at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I guess I can talk about those because I did really enjoy it. So let's talk about Divine Rivals, which is another fantasy series I really started to like this year, which was so fucking fun, absolutely obsessed with. And the romance in this one was again so I did prefer Divine Rivals over, because it's very simple. Like, it's like normal people, but they're like gods in the world, and they're like in the war, and then it's more about the romance between the two main characters, and about like writing letters to each other, and it was just really good, and I really enjoyed it. And okay. Oh yeah. Which one was my favourite though? That's it. Okay guys, next book series that I started and finished, thank god I did, this year was the Binding 13 Boys of Torment series, and I really enjoyed it. This one was probably my favourite with Redeeming 6, but this one was so good. And in that one it's like a big plot twist that happened, which then you do know in like Saving and Redeeming 6, versus this one it was completely new. And I do like Shannon and Johnny is like to be in their POVs probably the most. I do also love Joey though a lot. But yeah, this is obviously about the Boys of Torment, who is a YA book series set in Ireland, in Cork. I really want to visit Cork. I really want to visit Cork now. And it is about this group of teenagers, and it's mostly about this family, the Lynch family, and they're really going through it because their dad is really abusive and just an alcoholic and just bad person. And then there's Shannon Lynch, and she falls in love with Johnny Kavanagh, who's this big rugby star, and he kind of like saves them. It's very like 2013 fanfiction era, but you know what, sometimes it's just fun to read a book like this, and it is heavy, it has a lot of emotional depth, and it is just really good, you know. Sometimes you just need something like that where it just gets your attention and you're just like immersed and you really like the characters, and you're like, yeah. Also like that it's fucking long, like honestly I can't lie, this is really appealing to me, so I really enjoyed that as well. Okay, oh yes, I didn't read a lot of Kristen Hanna this year just because I read a lot last year and then I wanted to read more, I just didn't have the time. But I did read The Women, which is the next book, like the newest release she brought out, and I really liked it. It's such a good historical fiction book. Normally I'm not like the biggest historical fiction book, especially if it's not audiobooked. This one was great. This one was intense, it was inspiring, it was sad, it was harrowing, it was wrenching, because it's about Frankie, who joins the military to fight in the Vietnam War, and she becomes one of the like war nurses, you know, like if a soldier gets into it, she cares about them. But it's really sad, which was so sad. Like she had so much trauma from the war, but nobody like cared about it, and it was really sad. And then there was a lot of romance going on, which I also did enjoy, and it was just a great little fiction, historical fiction book, and I just love Kristen Hanna's writing. It's just so good. Like it's genuinely like goosebumps kind of level, and I really enjoyed that. No? Okay, good. Oh, yeah. We have a new book by Annie Hazelwood, who is one of my favourite authors. I did not love Not in Love. I was not in love when Not in Love, but I did really enjoy Bride. Was it more like a one-time read, wow, this is so fun, you know, like eating junk food kind of thing? Yes. But in the moment it was great. It was really fun because it's basically about this vampire who gets married to. Yeah. So they are doing like a marriage out of convenience with the vampire and the werewolf. So they build like a bigger alliance against, I think, the humans, was it? It's been February, sorry guys. I just remember really enjoying it and it was really fun. But yeah, and then there's also like this mystery part because I think it's her best friend who goes missing. But yeah, this is just really fun, to be honest. Like, bit wild, bit like, why did not need to know this. This is kind of weird. Will I ever look at werewolves the same again? Probably not, but in the moment it was fun. It's a 300-page, really quick and easy read, and I do kind of enjoy the cover. Okay, now before we go any deeper into it, I'm gonna take a moment to look at my phone and look at all the ebooks I've read, because this is kind of hard because I obviously don't, like, I'm not a 100% physical reader. I do have my Kindles and my audiobooks, so let me have a look at that. Because like when I do love a book, I get the physical edition sometimes, most of the times, I don't know, but sometimes I don't, so like let me have a really cheeky look. Yeah, see, okay, another book that I do want to talk about, which was another great book, was The Great Believers, which is a historical fiction slash true fiction book, and that's set in the 1970s, 80s, and it's set in Chicago, and it talks about like this group of friends who are all queer, and then AIDS happens. And you know what? That was shocking and sad and upsetting, and yeah, because it was just a really heartbreaking book after that, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just so sad because this is the main character, and like he was just the most amazing person ever, and then all this shit started happening and all his friends were dying. Like, it was so sad. I was like, oh my god, I don't know if I can keep doing this, because like everybody was just dying. You know that meme from Grey's Anatomy where Meredith is like, everybody's leaving and everybody's dying? That was that book, but like in a great way, and it was really well written. I really still want to get the physical edition of that one. I almost got it, but it's just like €17, so it's like, no, not right now, but when I really want to reread it, I might get it, because it was really, really, really good. I just wanted to recommend that one for you guys a lot. Okay, another book that I just remembered, which is really love it, was Imogen, obviously, which I've had on my bookshelf for literally ages, and I finally read it, and it was a really fun YA romance set in like pre-college, but like she almost goes to college, but she's not really yet. I think it's the summer before or like the year before or something. But yeah, and she's visiting like friends at college, and it was so fun reading while I was obviously at uni. And like, just look at this cover, and like, isn't it that so fucking pretty, and I love it so much. And yeah, but it's about Imogen, who then, like, she's completely like a straight girl, but she has a lot of queer friends. But then she kind of starts liking this one girl, and she's like, am I actually straight? I don't know. Very confused. And there's a lot of like stuff about friendship as well, like, are they good friends, like what's going on? And it was just like such a good story about like growing up and stuff like that, which I really enjoyed. But it was also so funny and just like really good. I did really enjoy it. Oh yeah, right, I remember. Good. Another book that I really enjoyed this year, which feels weird saying like, oh, I enjoyed reading this, because it was, again, so fucking sad and tragic, but that was The Way It Used to Be, which is about a girl who got sexually assaulted when she was 14, and then it's just like talks about her years in high school and what it has been like after, and like how she's dealing with it. Not in the best way, not to be like, oh, she should be doing this, but like in like a you should be doing this, she's not doing that. But like obviously everybody can act the way they want after what happened to her. But yeah, Eden, and she's really go through. But at the same time there's like a bit of like a romance, and it's just, you really like Eden. You really like Eden, you're like rooting for it, but then you can see she's making like the wrong decisions, and you're like, no, don't Goody. But she is, and you're like, ah, no, you're just making it worse. But you, yeah, it's a bit sad, but also really emotional and really well written. And I think the author like really put in like her own experience in it, which like you can really tell like she knew what she was saying. And yeah, it really like shows like her, like Eden's strength and like her willingness to persevere and stuff like that. And I also recently read the second one, which I also really enjoyed, because it was just so well done, you know what I'm saying, and really well written. It was really nice getting like more closure, I guess. But like, is that a good standalone? Yes, but I do enjoy the second one, but it's a little bit better. But it was good to be back with those characters, because I really like Eden. I think she's a really real character, and that's the best you can, you know, and that's sometimes all you can do. Let's have a look what else we can talk about. This is so hard. Send help, guys. Why is this so hard? This shouldn't be this hard. You find 24 books you enjoy. But I look at them and I'm like, no, this is not giving recommendation, you know. This is like, oh yeah, it was good, but like, not top book. Let me talk about one thing really quickly that like was literally the first book I read this year, and it was really good, and that was Heartstopper 5. I just love whenever a new book comes out. Like, is it really short and sweet and quick to read? Yes. Was it great? Yes. Was it extremely heart-wrenching? Yes, because like it looks like a really fun, like quick, like little like comic book, you know, because it is a comic book, but like it talks about such deep topics, because Charlie is really going through it with his mental health. They're not doing the best, and then Nick is going through it because he has to decide what uni he wants to go to, and also like he obviously cares so much about Charlie, and you know, when you're like the one you love hurts, you want to help them, but you really just like can't, like he can't, like he also needs help to be helping and stuff. And it's just like, in such a like short little comic, they really put in all the emotional puns, which was really good, but also so sad. But I just really like those comics, and if you haven't read Heartstopper comics, what are you doing? Go read them immediately. They're so quick and easy to read, like perfect start for 2025, honestly, you know. Encourage those reading goals immediately. Okay, you know what, I don't care. Let's talk about books in the series that I just talked about, but I don't even care. So let's talk about the second book in the We Could Be So Good duology, because I was like, this book was great, but there's another book. I was like, I'm actually kind of like skeptical, because what if it's not as good? And it was not like as show-stopping, but that's because I think this one also like had the surprising element, which obviously this one I had like expectations of. But this one is about Eddie and Mark Bailey. But yeah, and this one is about Eddie, who is a baseball star, and then Mark, who's another journalist from the other book. That's where we know him from, so it's like a set in the same world, but like not, what's the word called? It could be seen as a standalone, basically. But yeah, it's again a queer romance about two guys, and this one is more like Grumpy and Sunshine. You're just like rooting for them, and so again, it's such a sweet romance. And again, like they're struggling obviously because it's the 1960s, so it's like, oh, but such a lovely couple again, and really liked it. And like the writing again was just so wonderful, and I really want to reread it and annotate maybe, because I feel like that would be fun. I want to get the UK editions. I just want to get all the editions, and I love it. And if you get one thing from this series, I feel like the most books I've been pretty much talked about, but these ones aren't, so go read those. Just such fun, like a good time when you just want to giggle, you know, which is really weird because it's the 1960s, but like you can giggle, it's great. Okay, next we got another new release that was released this year, which I was so excited about, and it really was good, was the reappearance of Rachel Price. I just love Holly Jackson's writing, and this one did not disappoint. It was pretty long actually, but so fun. It's about Belle, and whose mother, Rachel, disappeared when she was like, I don't know, 1 maybe? I can't remember how old she was. And then when she's 18, the mum reappeared. And everybody's like, what the hell's going on? How could you just like reappear? We thought you were dead. Now you're just back. And she always say like this, like, did she like just leave and come back? Or did she like get kidnapped? Like what happened to her? And so Belle is trying to figure out like what happened with her. And it was good fun YA story where you can just like binge read it in like 1 or 2 days and have a lot of fun with it. You know, sometimes you just need a little bit of fun after reading The Great Believer, so you can read this and you're happy again, or like, yeah. So that was really good as well. I really enjoyed it, and I'm excited for the next book that Hallie Jackson's gonna bring out. Like, she's just an autobiography author at this point. Like, I just love it so much. But yeah. Next. You know what? Let's put in a reread because they were so good. Okay, they were so good, and technically it's also good. But yeah, because I just got them for Christmas, and I just want to talk about them again. And I also read Death POV this year, and I just love them so much. But yeah, I reread All the Young Dudes, which is a Harry Potter fan fiction. But like, look, I got actual physical edition books. Like, they look like real books, don't they? And yes, I did that myself. Not like myself, but like I ordered them and stuff. I chose book covers and stuff like that. So I basically did it myself, but now they look like actual fucking real books, and I feel like that makes them more legitimate. But yeah, so I read those 3, and then exactly the same, just serious POV, because this is about Harry Potter's dad, so it's about the Marauders, who are just my favourite people in the whole world, and I do think they're real. Like, they were living back in the 1780s, not in the AIDS crisis, because they're magic, so, you know, all good. But yeah, and they're at Hogwarts, and then it's just so fun being back in Hogwarts and seeing a different POV and like, fun. But yeah, it's just so fun being back in Hogwarts and seeing like another POV, and it was just so fucking good, you know? Like, it was just so fucking good, and I just love those books so much. But yeah, it's about Moony. It's his POV, so Remus Lupin, Professor Lupin, but in my head he's Moony. And it's about like his POV when he falls on a Sirius Black, so it's supposed to, obviously, I feel like they are like the biggest ship. That it's also about James and Lily and Peter, and like, it's just so fun because like in the first book they're just like becoming friends, and like there's so many pranks happening, and it's so fun seeing how the Marauders obviously evolved and stuff like that. And then in the second one they're like teenagers, and there's just a lot of romance going on, and it's so fucking fun, and I love it so much. This one's my favourite. And then we got the third one where they all die. No, I'm kidding, obviously. If you haven't read Harry Potter, you obviously don't know, but it's just like, yeah, war times. Because obviously there's a war happening with Voldemort. Like, that's pretty much common knowledge. Anyway, I mean, we all know what happened to James and Lily. Let's not lie. If you've never seen Harry Potter, you still know what happened to James and Lily. You'll know it in the first page. Like, sorry, that's not a spoiler. But anyways, so yeah, love those books so much. And then I did reread them this October, I think. And then I also read it from series POV, because that's also one. So you can add the same books, just a different font, again here. And I read all of these in the span of like 1.5 weeks. Was doing great, honestly. But yeah, so I'm just gonna put the first one here. But best believe I loved all of them a lot. All 5 stars. Like, all 6 of them 5 stars. Good. Now, okay, let's just talk about rereads. I don't even care anymore. We're not doing like the basic rereads, but like the ones that really hit the hardest. I'm glad my mom died. I really want to reread it again this year, maybe annotated. But like, this is just a book I keep coming back to. I read it the first time, then I listened to it, and then I think I listened to it again. Like, I think I'm at 3 times now, and again want to reread it again. But I like all the themes that are in the book. Like, they just really hit really hard for me, and it's just really well written. I just really want another book by Janet McCurdy. Why is there not another one book by her? But I would like to annotate it. It's like my favorite memoir of all time, and I do love it so much. It's just so real, and like written in a really fun way by talking about such deep topics like mommy issues and eating disorders, and like the Hollywood industry, being a child actor and stuff like that. Working with, I think it was Nickelodeon. I think he was a Nickelodeon child, right? So it's just one of the best memoirs you can ever read, and I love it so much. So had to reread. 20. We're at 20. Those are my top 20 books. Now we just have 4 more. Let me talk about Magnolia Park Into the Dark. You know what? Because this was also such a good book, and like I don't think I've ever read a book where I cried more. Like, this was genuinely like, I think, the book I cried to the most. If we want to give awards, this was definitely got those awards, because it was literally talking about my biggest fear like 24/7. I was like, okay, hold up, please, let's just not. But it just kept going. I don't know how to do this anymore. But I'm not gonna say what happened, but it was heartbreakingly sad, but at the same time so good. You know, so good. And I really did enjoy it, and I would love to annotate it. And also, I feel like in this one you really like BJ, and you can see what like all this trauma from the last books has done to Magnolia, which is also really sad. But it's all just well done, you know what I mean? Really well done, and I love just that Hastings writing in this one. It's a bit overdramatic, yes, but it's fun. Yeah, Anyways, I loved this one and I'm so excited for the next one. I don't know when it's gonna come, but I need it. And I'm so sad. I like the Magnolia and BJ stories like over, you know? Also, I love London. Like, I read this before I came to London, so now I kind of want to reread it and know where everything is. That would be so fun, I feel like. Oh, just getting some recommendations from them. Could I afford any of them? Probably not, but you can still try. Right? We got another book, and that is the new release by Riley Sager, one of my favourite thrillers of the year. I haven't read that many thrillers, I think, to be honest, this year, but this one was still one of my favourites. It was so good. It was really bingeable. It's happening in the 1990s, which is really good, and also in the now timeline, like it switches back and forth, because in 1994, 10-year-old Ethan and his best friend Billy go camping in his backyard, and then Billy goes missing. Like, he just disappears out of the tent where they're sleeping in. It's really like, kind of scary. Like, imagine. I'd be traumatized. And then like it's 30 years later, and now Billy and Ethan is trying to figure out like what happened, because he's moving back to a small town to sell the house he grew up in, like his childhood home, where it all happened. And like there's just a lot of secrets. There were so many different secrets. Like there was just like plot twist, you know. So that was really good. Really enjoyed this thriller from him. I just love all his styles, to be honest. Like, or July author again. Okay, another book that I did really enjoy. I think it was actually, I preferred it over better than the movies, is I just like this plot a bit more. But yeah, that is Betting on You by Lynn Painter. I really like all of Lynn Painter books, to be honest, but this one I think is my favourite. So look at the little cat. Isn't that so fucking cute? But yeah, this is about Charlie and Bailey, and Charlie's like the bad boy, but he's just also been through a lot, you know, like, as you can when you're like, I don't know, 17. But like he's a bit of a bad influence for her, and like she's kind of like mad because her parents just got a divorce, and her mum I think is dating somebody new, and she's like trying to be like, get out, you know. But like it's so fun. Their banter was great, and it was just a really fun little YA romance. Like there's just nothing you can say against it, to be honest. Like it was just really, really fun. Loved it. Okay, one more book, guys. One more book. Okay, the last book I'm going to talk about is Harry Potter The Prisoner of Azkaban, which I did also reread, but it was just so fun. It was one of my favourite books I read this year, so, you know, has to be on there, and it's my favourite book from Harry Potter, like the original 7, obviously. I've since read a lot more. It's just the beauty of AO3, honestly. They're all free, so go check it out. If you're trying to check it out first, and then okay? Anyways, but yeah, I loved that one, obviously because it talks about the most about the Marauder. It's like a love series, but like so much. He's back, and like everything you just know, like when you're reading for another time, like I've read it so many times now, it's so crazy, but it just keeps getting funner and funner, and I love it so much, and I would definitely recommend it. And yeah, like I said, love it so much. It's really good, so I do really enjoy it and would recommend it. And those were all the 24 books that I read in 2024 that were my favourites. That was kind of hard. I thought it was going to be hard, but not this hard. But okay guys, those are all the books that I read in 2024. Not all, just my favourites, all of them will come later in a later video, but I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I see you in the next one, and yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you got some recommendations out of them. Do I know it was getting hot, like funny, like okay guys, sorry my camera just died, but I just wanted to say bye. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I see you in the next one. Next one should probably be talking about all the books I read in 2024, so that's gonna be a lot, because I did read over 100, so you know. And yeah, then probably my 2025 TBR. That's crazy, but I am excited for 2025. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. I hope I see you in the next one. Bye guys, bye. Wish I could say extra bye, but like my hands are a little bit full, so.